Welcome back to the Campus House Bar. Today we're going to be talking about margaritas. Like most classic cocktails, the origin of a margarita has many different stories. The first one being in 1938, a Tijuana restaurateur named Carlos Herreras developed the cocktail for an aspiring actress named Marjorie King. She was allergic to other spirits, so she enjoyed tequila. He added a little bit of lime juice, liqueur, maybe some salt, and marketed it in Tijuana. In 1945 was its first publication of the recipe in the Complete Book of Spirits, and credit was given to the U.S. distributor of Jose Cuervo, and it was tagged Margarita, not just a woman's name. My favorite story, which is probably the most unlikely because it happened in 1948, was a Dallas socialite, Margaret Sames, developed the cocktail for her friends when they were vacationing in Acapulco. She had these beautiful glasses that had her name etched in them, and she served a cocktail with tequila, lime juice, and at that time Cointreau, and she served it over the rocks for a libation for them to enjoy as a group. Today we're going to be making a margarita, which is going to include a Blanca tequila. We're going to use Salerno, which is an orange liqueur, and we're going to use freshly squeezed lime juice. There are many variations and many different varieties. You can have different flavored margaritas, you can have top shelf margaritas, you can have frozen margaritas. Typically, people like to enjoy them in warmer weather, and they're a very popular Cinco de Mayo drink. Definitely the most popular US cocktail in the summertime, which is really fun. There are 5 different varieties of tequila. Today we're going to talk a little bit about 3 of them. We have Blanco, which is 100% agave in its purest form. You can tell by the color that it's clear. It actually showcases just what a distiller could do. It takes the flavors of the agave plant. After that, we have a Reposado tequila, which you can see in this glass. It's a little bit darker because it is aged for at least 2 months, but up to a year in a oak barrel. These barrels can be used for different types of spirits, so sometimes it picks up different notes, maybe vanilla or different flavors from the barrel. So it's not as indicative of the distiller, but it has a little bit more depth and a little bit more flavor, but not as much as our añejo. And that's going to be aged anywhere from 1 year to 3 years. And it's definitely going to pick up more flavors. So if you were looking for the agave plant with the least amount of sugars, with the freshest amount of flavors, we would go with Blanco. So that's what we're going to make our cocktail with. We're going to make our cocktail in a rocks glass, which is a small glass, also could be known as a lowball glass. We're going to be using jiggers. This is a 2 ounce to a 1 ounce. And then we have 3/4 to 1 1/2. We'll be using freshly squeezed lime juice, done today, and Salerno. We're gonna build our cocktail right in our glass, which means we're gonna put our glass on the mat and have at it from there. We're gonna start with our base spirit, which is 2 ounces of our Blanc tequila. Some recipes call for a fully squeezed lime, and that to me equates to about 3/4 ounce, depending on your lime. So we'll do 3/4 ounce of the lime juice and 3/4 ounce of our Salerno. Excellent. We're gonna fill our glass up with ice. Give a little stir with our bar spoon to meld the flavors together. At this point, a lime wedge is optional. If we were transferring the drink into a different glass, we could also rim the glass. When you're rimming a glass with salt, you want to make sure to keep it on the very edges because you want people to enjoy the salt as an added flavor. Everything that you put in the glass should be intentional to build flavors and to meld. If you're ever rimming with sugar or salt, you want to keep it on the edge so the person enjoying the cocktail isn't overtaken by the flavors that weren't meant to be in the original recipe. Want to thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to hearing any suggestions you have on future cocktails. Cheers.